Welcome back. Today, we are diving into something truly massive. This might just be the single most powerful, the most awe-inspiring declaration in the entire Jafar collection, the cosmic station of Ali, described in his very own words.
So, in our last explainer, we really set the stage, right? We looked at the scriptural basis for Al-Raja, the return, digging into the Quranic evidence and the miracle stories. We saw the promise of a second coming was there.
But today is different. We're moving beyond prophecies about him. We are going straight to the source, to the Kitab al-Wahida, where Imam Ali himself, the very center of the return, describes his own reality, his own cosmic station, and his own voice.
And he kicks things off with this profound challenge, a call to try and grasp a reality that stretches from before creation itself all the way to the final judgment. So let's start to unpack what that even means.
So here's our roadmap for this cosmic journey. We're going to start with his pre-eternal origins, then move to his future return with a resurrected army, then dive into the absolutely stunning litany of titles he claims for himself, and finally, the specific prophecies he makes for the end of time.
Okay, so let's begin before the beginning. I mean, literally, before time, before space, before any created thing existed. The text describes this singular, divine act of creation. You see, according to this narration, creation didn't start with some big bang. No, it started with a word. Allah speaks a word, and that word becomes light. And from that very first light, Muhammad, Ali, and their progeny were formed. Then, Allah speaks another word, and it becomes a spirit, which then settles inside that light, inside their very bodies. And this leads to an absolutely stunning declaration. They aren't just creations in the normal sense. The text presents them as the very spirit and the very words of Allah, the living, breathing veil between the divine and the entire created universe.
And the text paints this incredible picture, right? A green shadow, a realm where there was no sun, no moon, nothing. And in that space, they worshipped him before anything else existed. And it was right there in that timeless state that Allah took a covenant from every single prophet who had ever come to believe in Muhammad and, crucially, to support his successor, Ali.
So now watch this. Watch how that ancient pre-eternal promise unfolds into a future world-shaking event right here on Earth. This is the ultimate fulfillment of that covenant.
He declares that upon his return, Allah will resurrect every single prophet, from Adam all the way to Muhammad. And look, this isn't some metaphor. This is a literal army of history's messengers rising from the grave to fight alongside him, their swords drawn to strike down the tyrants of every single generation. And this absolutely mind-blowing event, it's presented as the ultimate fulfillment of a very specific promise in the Quran, the promise that the believers will finally be granted authority and real security on earth after a long period of fear.
And what's the sign of this total victory? Well, it's the end of something called taqiyya. This practice of, having to hide one's true faith in times of danger, it's just not going to be necessary anymore. Its absence means a new era of absolute security, where the truth can finally be spoken out loud, with no fear at all.
And that victory, that total unveiling of the truth, it brings us to the very heart of this entire speech. This is where Ali begins to list his titles, and the scale, well, it's just cosmic.
He starts by declaring his mastery over the fundamental cycles of existence itself. The returns, the recurrences, the moments of cosmic justice. He is the very axis on which these great events turn. And the litany goes on, positioning him as the absolute direct link between humanity and God. He is the keeper of divine secrets, the very face and the veil through which the divine can be perceived, and the path you have to walk to even reach God. And this is where the claim just elevates to a whole new level. He's not just a servant or a prophet. The text here presents him as the living embodiment of God's own attributes, the beautiful names, the supreme examples, the greatest signs for all of creation to see. And the litany just keeps building, keeps deepening. It expands his authority from the spiritual and metaphysical, right down to the physical fabric of the world itself. And this is an absolutely crucial point. Here, he declares his role as the ultimate judge, the final arbiter of salvation and damnation. It's he who will personally settle the people of paradise and the people of the fire into their final homes.
He then connects himself to these massive eschatological figures, like the beast of the earth, and to huge moments in sacred history. He's claiming to be the power that brought down ancient tyrants and saved past prophets. This means his presence stretches way beyond his own physical lifetime. So, taken all together, this isn't just a list of titles, it's a profound declaration of his entire cosmic function.
Okay, so after all of these cosmic declarations, the speech suddenly gets very, very grounded. It shifts to specific, tangible things he says he will do when he returns to Earth.
The text lays out these incredibly precise prophecies. He will build a pulpit in Egypt, he will destroy Damascus stone by stone, and he will assert his authority over the entire region. It's interesting because the text notes that when he was first asked about this, he used tekiah, but here, the full prophecy is laid bare.
And finally, to help us understand the very pattern of Ali's life, his death, and his promised return, the source gives us this really powerful parallel.
This parallel is just so key to understanding the whole archetype. You have this Quranic figure, al-Qarnayn, which means the one with two horns. He was sent to his people, struck on one side, and he died. But Allah revived him. Then he was struck again, on the other side, and he died again. And Allah revived him a second time. And then the text draws a direct, unmistakable line. And among you is one like him, explicitly connecting Ali's martyrdom and his promised return to this incredible pattern of a double death and a double resurrection.
And he ends with this, a direct challenge to his followers. And he's acknowledging the unbelievable weight of this reality. He's basically saying that if he told them even a fraction of the full truth he knows, most people would just scatter. It would be too much to handle. But then he expresses his faith that the truly firm would endure it. It's a final, provocative question left for his followers and for us. What does it really take to stand firm in the face of a cosmic claim this huge?